I've happened across this really calm, beautiful scene with a path in front of me, the trees over the top, something spiritual about this place. See if I can capture some of that mood on my camera. Now I think I've found the perfect place to be taking an image. Not only do we have the path disappearing, undulating into the future, we've got this other path that crosses it. There's something poetic about that somehow. Framing up, let's have a look. Nice bits of detail of the sun shining through the branches, speckling onto the ground. So let's try and capture that. Grid lines ahoy as always, as these lines converge off into the distance. Make sure we are as aligned as we can be. Never be perfect, but we can do a lot of the job. There we go. Now, maybe if I were to focus on the distance a little bit, that might be an interesting shot, and it sort of is. So I'll take it while I'm here. But what I do lose from that is this cross just here. I don't mind that. If I angle up too much, then I lose the impact of the path, which is a shame. So my fix for this is to go to the wide-angled lens. Now the wide-angled lens does a few things. It enables me to angle upwards, and now I get the cross of the path. I still get the lines disappearing in the distance, but I get the trees coming over the top here of me, almost enclosing this scene, providing a lovely frame for it. And now the sun is peeking through at the far end. I'm getting some lovely little kind of solar flares, pleasing spots on the camera, as well as the mottled pattern on the ground in front. Oh, that's lovely. Just need a few different spots of exposure here just to make sure we've got something that works, because it's quite bright in the sky. Maybe one of the lighter points. There we go. So when I tap on one of the lighter points, it just lowers the overall scene's exposure, which means that the highlights from the sun shining through the branches just shows up with a little bit more clarity in the foreground. There is something very serene and special, calming mood about this place, and I hope I've been able to capture that in some of these images. This was the first image I captured of this scene, and I can see that I've focused very much on the path in the foreground and how the sun hits, shines through the branches and creates this lovely dappled effect. However, what I have missed out on is the trees at the top of the frame. I've got these lovely colours on here, the green and the brown of the leaves having fallen, but I've just chopped the top of the trees off, which seems like a bit of a shame, really. If I'd have angled my camera upwards, I'd have lost some of the path here. So this is probably the best I could get from this position using this type of lens. This is a really lovely image in many ways. I've opted for the zoom lens on my phone's camera, and now just have a bit of the path as it undulates off and disappears in the distance. I have more of the trees because I'm able to frame up a little bit. I've just got the sun poking through at the top. So while as an image I think it's very successful, what I do lose now by focusing on just a bit of detail is the sense of place. This could be really one of many places like this, but it's lost some of the key elements that I really wanted to capture. This image has pretty much everything that I wanted to get. The path disappearing into the distance, and then this secondary path that just cuts it at the beginning forms this kind of cross. We've got, of course, the colours that are very vibrant here, the greens and the oranges and browns. We've got the trees enveloping the frame, creating this, well, frame around the body of the image. And then as your eyes are drawn to the centre, the sun peeking through, and on this lens we have a little solar artifact, a solar flare as the light hits the lenses and creates this blue, green, unpredictable, unreal effect. And bringing all of these elements together has helped to really capture the essence of the scene that's before me. And with the addition of that little solar flare, it's added something else to it as well.